So we have the Charlotte
This
Hornets
one's tough, low-key.
at
This is a tough
the Atlanta Hawks Wednesday at 4 p.m. Yes, I think you guys are correct. I think this one is the most toss-up in the air. I highly doubt that both of these teams. Yeah. I highly doubt that either of these teams, though, too, will let it get away from them and somebody's going to be a blowout.
I think this is going to be a tight one. Like
This is probably the one I'm for sure
gonna watch.
So let me go ahead and bring it in, and then we could talk about it. I'll start with you, K. Gifton. So we mentioned beforehand that the Hornets have a lot of good pieces. We were speaking about how they need to give him a star. I think Gifton brought up Gordon Hayward and cutting it. Well, Gordon Hayward's out. Gordon Hayward is still out. And that might actually be a blessing for these Hornets. So
it is.
And the only reason why is because
they're able to step up and find themselves now.
Not just that, but also Lamelo Ball, which might be them finding themselves, will be able to just show out and ball out.
Because he was respecting Gordon Hayward like he was the guy. I told you that, bro.
And Gordon Hayward's nice on defense, too.
No,
he is.
Nice. What I'm saying, like, offensively, though, like...
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, like, he's like, basically... Oh, yeah, Gordon Hayward, take the last shot.
Well, they have
Lamelo, take it. Just take it, bro. Fuck it.
They have a lot of good pieces, though, like we were kind of mentioning, but nothing that's great. Yeah. On the Hawks, on the other hand, are pretty much on the same type of level where they have a lot of good pieces to support their main star point guard here, too. But honestly, they've actually been so good that Nate McMillan has been leaving them in for longer periods of time, having Trae Young still on the bench in the closing moments, but then bringing them in when the score is getting closer. They had the Heat and they lost to them because he was on the bench. They had Clint Capella on the bench as well. He's a starter, possibly should have been there a little bit earlier. But yeah, Nate McMillan's been criticized about that more recently. And again, we were kind of boasting about how their bench has been nice. So what way will Nate McMillan kind of do it? He's more of a defensive type of coach. Maybe he was more focused on that, which is I don't really understand why Clint Capella wasn't out there and Danilo Gallinari was. But I digress.
Yeah, he better get his he better get all that shit.
Get your rotations figured out.
For this game, bro.
Is John Collins back yet?
Yes.
Yeah, he should be back.
He is back. Wait. No. I was thinking of Zach Collins for the Spurs. I don't know if John Collins is back.
Zach Collins, bro.
Zach Collins. Wow, guys. Wow.
Oh,
that's my bad.
Bro, you fucking,
that's so random.
I was doing Spurs because there's playing. Yeah, he plays for the Spurs.
But
and
no one ever
does
brings
pretty
up
well.
Zach Collins.
He's always injured. Remember on the Trailblazers, like, dude, Zach Collins is wild. We all digress. So, Gifton, let's start with you. I'll go ahead and do the John Collins thing, my guy. Who wins this matchup and advances to the next round of the play-in tournament to play another do or die?
See, here's why the Hornets are going to win this one.
Oh, he starts it off with already his pick.
Because LaMelo has been in this situation before. Got his ass in the playing game. They were in the playing game last year to the Pacers. They lost miserably, but he's miserably like a motherfucker. But oh my God, if he didn't take that season and use it as fuel, bro, to come back into this year. Then on top of that, Atlanta's not really the same. They're always kind of up and down with their rotation. Bogdan's not really the same. John Collins is kind of like, I don't want to say injury prone, but
3 weeks ago it says John Collins out for 10 to 14 days. That was 3 weeks ago. So it sounds like he's still out. Hold up. 3 days ago for tonight, let's see here. John Collins is still at the same level, jogging and shooting per Nate McMillan. This is 4 days ago. No setbacks, which is good, but still at the same level activities as a few days ago. So it sounds like he'll just be ready for the playoffs. So he's not going to be playing in the play-in tournament, according to Hoops Hype.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I mean, if there's no John Collins, if there's no high flyer to, get pretty much half the team's points, I mean, they can't.
Man, you give these guys a lot of points.
They still have Clint Capella for that.
Yeah, they still have Clint Capella, but what's Clint good for? 12 and 12?
You're a Rockets fan.
What's Clint good for? 12 and 12?
Man.
What is he good for?
He's so
doing
mean.
12 and 12?
He was getting some little numbers with y'all.
Who was giving it to him?
Come on.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Who was the reason why he was getting all them points?
You said like Trey's
James
not
Harden
a playmaker.
and Chris Paul.
Well,
that's the reason why he was getting
25. There's nobody else there. There's a lot of good players there. We just said it.
I mean, who else is playmaking
besides James and
actually,
Chris together, bro? That.
Yeah, you have your man
compared
Lou Will.
to
just
Lou Will and Trae Young,
bro.
And Trae Young's job is to just score.
No, it's not to just score. He literally has the most.
Trae Young does
games.
both.
What are you talking about?
He does both.
What does he hang his hat on though? Scoring.
He's still leading the league in assists.
I forgot that. Okay, take that back. But
Chris Paul has the highest average, but that's because he missed games.
Yeah, but it's. I feel like it's too much for. I feel like it's gonna be too much for Trae. Trae's gonna have to do a little bit of everything when Trae shouldn't have to do everything.
Who's better, Trae Young or LaMelo Ball?
LaMelo.
Yeah.
Oh, because better playmaker, faster.
Whoa, he's not faster.
Better defender.
He's not faster.
I don't know if he's faster.
Not faster or quicker.
Better defender, better handles, better athleticism.
Not better handles.
What? What do you mean?
Have you seen Trae?
Have you seen LaMelo?
How many people LaMelo dropped off?
A couple. He dropped off like 5.
No, he has not dropped off like 5. Trae Young drops off 3 people in one game, bro. All the time.
So does LaMelo.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, LaMelo gets the ball off his hands. He's not an ISO player.
What do you mean?
Trae Young is an ISO player.
LaMelo's not an ISO player?
No, he's not.
You're crazy.
Do you watch Hornet games?
He's not an ISO. Bro, he don't get like 1-2 ISOs a game.
1 to 2 compared to Trae getting like
stop it.
That's the fucking
Trae
problem.
getting way more ISOs than him, bro.
You're going into the playoffs trying to play ISO ball.
Well,
that's the wrong time to do that.
I agree. I'm not saying that's not true.
So playoff Trae Young isn't real?
Oh, I think it's real.
Would you stop?
Oh
my god.
He didn't only ball out against the Knicks.
And then he had a really good chance of getting out the second round if he didn't get injured.
They made it to the conference finals.
Oh,
they beat the Sixers.
They had a close chance of getting out of that finals if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah. I think they probably
still would have lost. I'm saying
but
when he got hurt, that was big time.
Yeah, him
that
getting
was
hurt.
Like
because
punch.
When he got
and he had John Collins.
When he had them 50-point games, bro, I was like, he's really doing this.
Yeah,
I was like, he's really doing this.
But you think that LaMelo Ball, and I'm not saying that he possibly won't be better than Trae, but you don't think that LaMelo Ball is better than Trae Young right now? All-star Trae Young, starter.
LaMelo's an all-star too.
Yeah, I said starter.
Oh, okay, it's cool.
It's crazy.
LaMelo got the Hornets.
He still got the Hornets. Go ahead, your turn there, Steven.
Yeah, I think I might go Hornets too, not because I think LaMelo is gonna just wash Trae Young, but I think like right now the Hornets are showing more consistency though for sure, and they do have a lot of. I think their chemistry is nice. They like playing with each other. They have been in the situation.
I had to do.
What's wrong with you?
It's a basketball team.
What's wrong with you?
Sir, it's a basketball.
This is a sports show.
Sir, it's a basketball team.
It was funny. Go ahead, bro.
Relax.
Man.
The wine's getting to me again.
It must be. But, yeah.
You're going to be suspended after this show.
I think, this team is definitely vibing. And they're vibing they've been vibing all year. Like I said,
they just could never get to
like chemistry. Like you always see something somewhere of the Hornets.
Because I want to say for a month straight, honestly. they were at or above 500.
Yeah.
For one particular stint of the season.
This isn't their first play-in. They did play last year.
That and Miles Bridges isn't playing like how he is now.
No, Miles Bridges is
how
not
he
the
played
same.
last
season,
he's not the same.
Yeah, he's a step up.
So they're definitely gonna defer to him a couple of times. James Bouknight's definitely gonna get some more runs.
Just realistically, the Hornets have more guys. If they have to just go to right now, they can probably just get something done. Whereas the Hawks, they are more waiting for Trae Young to get them, like they're more Trae Young oriented for sure.
You're right. I think that they depend a lot on Trae Young. Another thing that I would have to say though is the recent comments that Trae Young has had about the team has been very critical, and kind of saying how, he was mentioning how he got Clint Capella an open shot, but there was somebody right behind him, and Clint Capella didn't want to really go up with it as aggressive. But he was saying, it was against the Heat. Bam Adebayo was there. And
it's Bam.
I understand that. I'm not saying, but you can't have second guesses, especially when your point guard puts you in a position.
Not a vet like Clint Capella second guessing himself.
Now he definitely also was playing a part in losing them that game. Trae Young did, because he did take on that big weight onto him, trying to close out the game, trying to be the hero. And it didn't necessarily work out. Yeah. Now, at the end, again, of course, he was being critical towards his teammates, I feel like, when I was reading just his quotes in an article. But ultimately, how is your team going to respond to that? Let me just say this much. The Hawks have the 7th worst net rating in the league after losing a 6-point lead with under 5 minutes to go. Now, that's saying something. Yeah. And that definitely can point out to how John Collins isn't there. We just seen, I don't know if you guys are watching that Grizzlies against the Jazz game. We just seen that the Jaren Jackson Jr. was able to really put those guys in good contention against the Utah Jazz before they went to OT and eventually lost there because they ran out of gas. But Jaren Jackson Jr. was really putting them in a good position. I think that Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Collins kind of serve the same type of purpose for their teams. Stretch the floor, good defense, high flyers, can really dunk, get those offensive rebounds as well. In a few ways. I would say more John Collins is a playmaker than JJ. But I think it's going to be the LaMelo Ball show. I hope that, he really comes out and his second year being in the same situation. Hold up. No. But I cannot see playoff Trae Young in the A, in Atlanta, not being able to pull this out with a good enough pieces. Like I said, who am I picking? LaMelo Ball or Trae Young? As of right now, I'm going to pick Trae. Now, Trae can also take on so much that he kills himself in that aspect like he did with the Heat. We'll see if that happens. Yeah. I don't think that it will happen. I think that him calling out his teammates we'll see how the team takes it. We'll see how he because if the team takes it well, he's not going to need to overdo it at the end because he doesn't trust his teammates. But if his team, because if they take it wrong, if they take it well, then they'll be able to dunk it on that type of possession and not put so much weight on Trae Young's, small shoulders, even though that he can really put out in that type of run. He's shown it beforehand. But I really, going from the conference finals all the way into the play-in and losing in the first round against, these Hornets, I don't really see happening. So I got the Hawks winning, even though they haven't shown off that well type of closing events, and that's really not a good sign. But being at home, still having good pieces, the same type of good pieces, I think it's fair for the other side to say too. We'll see what happens with the showdown between these 2 point guards. Whoever has the best performance, I'm saying that team wins. I think it's going to be Trae Young and the Hawks.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just like you were saying against the Heat. Him trying to play that way where he has to do everything by himself against the Heat, that's just not the team you want to be faced up against. They can key in on him too much. Bro.
To kind of follow up with that too, it was the Raptors that he played beforehand, right? Remember we were talking about that game.
They lost that
game because they took the ball out of Trae Young's hands, and Trae was actually playing more passively at the end, believing in his teammates more. And then during the Heat, he was believing more in himself than his teammates, and the teammates didn't give him a reason for him to believe in them. Yeah. So it went both sideways, and those are both really good teams. So I think that those teams are better than this Hornets team. Yeah. So again, I definitely think it's all based off, the point guard play. So we'll see how that goes. Did that change your mind, Gifton?
Fuck you.
Fuck me then. Damn. Aww.